John 14, verses 1 and 2. I think there are two very important parts of John 14, 1 and 2. The first one of them is peace. Look at John 14, verse 1. Do not let your heart be troubled. Believe in God, believe also in me. Do you see that peace? Believe in God, believe also in me. But look at the second part, preparation. In my Father's are many dwelling places. If it were not so, I would have told you, and I'd go prepare a place for you. Jesus is preparing a place for us, but we must be prepared. If we're not prepared, we won't be there. You know, I was raised on the King James Version. It was the version my mama taught me from, and when I quote verses, I still quote King James Version. There's nothing wrong with that. But in the King James Version, it says, in my Father's house are many mansions. I think that's beautiful language. In my Father's house are many mansions. I want to tell you a story about Betty. Betty lives in Henryville, Tennessee. If you're not familiar with Henryville, Henryville is between Waynesboro and Columbia. Summertown is somewhere in there too. Betty's a unique person. I've never heard anyone that's a human lightning rod. She attracts lightning. Lightning has struck Betty 5 times in her life. I've never seen anything like it. If it's lightning, she better stay inside because it will hit her. And I know that sounds funny, but trust me, it's not. Betty doesn't drive, but she's been in 2 automobile accidents. And it's left her very, very crippled. I preached where Betty was a member. And I remember one Sunday morning, I don't remember the sermon, but I remember as Betty came out the back door, I was shaking them out. That's a preacher talk, shaking them out. And Betty came up to me and she said, I don't want my mansion to be empty. I said, I beg your pardon? She said, you know, the Lord's preparing me a mansion. If I'm not prepared, my mansion is going to be empty for eternity. You know, I'd never thought of that. I learned something every day from students, from members, from children especially. I don't want my mansion to be empty. So if we offer the Lord's invitation tonight, notice the peace. John 14:1. And notice the preparation. In John 14:2. Are you prepared? Should you leave this life before the sun rises in the morning? Are you prepared to meet the Lord? Will your mansion be empty? If you need to respond to the gospel invitation, will you do so as together we stand and sing?